Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you about my absolute favorite mod ever for Skyrim. I know that's a bold statement, but I stand by it. It is a Legacy of the Dragonborn, and it recently had its version 5 update, which in my opinion is a phenomenal update, so I wanted to dedicate a spotlight to it. Now, one thing to note is that we are talking about the Skyrim Special Edition version of Legacy of the Dragonborn. There is, of course, a Legendary Edition version. It is not currently at the V5 version, and there is a blog post dating back to May talking about potential backports, but no promises or anything like that. But there is an older version up that is just equally as fun. But let's just dive on into Legacy of the Dragonborn. Now, Legacy of the Dragonborn has been a mod that I've been using in Skyrim since before Skyrim Special Edition came out. It has been a must-have mod for me and pretty much changed the way that I view and play Skyrim. At its base, and we're talking before we add in all the other cool stuff that comes with this mod, but at its base, at its core, what it really is a cool way to display everything that you've ever collected in Skyrim. So that Maroon's Razor, or all the Dragon Claws, or that specialty staff that you might have gotten, or anything like that, it gives it a home and it gives you a reason to continue to collect. It gives you a reason to find all of the lunar weapons that are available in the game. It gives you a reason to pretty much find anything that is a specialty item, and then that way you can display it. On top of that, this mod comes with a safe house, so it has a player character house for you to use when you get given it. It's got a whole host of people for you to meet, and all of the voice acting so far has been absolutely exquisite. There is a Explorer's Guild that you can become the Guild Master of, and I, for one, have really enjoyed the Guild Explorers quest lines so far. There's also just a quest line that goes with this mod, and then this mod also hooks in to a variety of other mods on a separate listing for patches on Nexus. So there's even that, and you can make it make sense with pretty much however you want to play Skyrim. The one important thing to note is that this mod, you want to consider it your foundation mod. This is the mod that you're going to install and build your entire load order around for the most part, especially as far as like quests go or things that you're going to collect or anything like that. So you want to make sure that this is installed first and then kind of build from there. The other thing to note is that if you have a previous version of Legacy of the Dragonborn and you want to upgrade to the V5 version that just came out recently, you need to start a whole new playthrough. V5 looks and feels incredibly different, and it feels very stable. It looks beautiful, and as you can probably see from the footage, if you played earlier versions, this does definitely look different than the museum that we're used to. And because of that, on the mod page, it does say that if you are upgrading from anything like V4 or V3, anything prior to the V5 version, that you do need to start a whole new playthrough, and you actually do need to delete the V4 version and all the scripts and everything like that. Make sure your game is like squeaky clean before installing and playing the V5 version. Now, of course, you can keep going on with your pre-V5 version, finish up your playthrough, and then come back to this should you decide to start another Skyrim playthrough after. But like I said, don't try to mix anything prior to V5 with the V5 version. It's not gonna go well. So one thing that I really do love about this mod is the wide variety of ways that you can start it. Now, there is a Live Another Life extension for it. There's actually 2 different Live Another Life extensions. If you just have the Live Another Life mod, there is a way to just start as a Relic Hunter, like you got the pamphlet for it, and then you can just go straight to the museum and start up your playthrough. There is also a entirely separate download page, which I will link in the description down below, where you can start as the head of the Explorers Guild. And I actually did try that start with Miri, and I loved it. It was such a refreshing way to start a Skyrim playthrough. So if you kind of want to just start incorporating Legacy of the Dragonborn from the get-go, I cannot recommend that enough. Now, you can, of course, always start the mod in the normal ways, which is by walking straight into the museum and speaking to the curator. There is also a flyer that you can find called Seeking Treasure Hunters, and it's available in the tavern, so you can pick that up and it'll direct you there. Or you can sell a relic to a vendor and receive a letter from the curator of the museum regarding it, and then that will kick it off as well. So there is a wide variety of ways to start this mod, which definitely allows for a lot of replayability and a lot of different character builds, which is super nice. And the really cool thing too is that in order to use a lot of the different displays, there are things like auto sorting, or you can place everything down yourself. It's really nice depending on who you're playing as or just what level of lazy you are. I, for one, normally go straight to the auto sorting because there's a lot of stuff that goes into this museum and I never know where anything goes, and I just like finding it later. But if you are somebody that wants to go ahead and place everything down manually, you can absolutely do that as well. And the really nice thing is you can take everything back whenever you want. You can just walk up to a display, take it, use it, do whatever you like with it, and then put it away after if you choose, or just hold on to it. There's also a way to create replicas, and the nice part about that is things like the golden claw that you have to return in order to complete the quest. You can just build a replica of the golden claw, and that can go into the museum display, so that way you can complete the quest and not have to worry about anything. One of the cool things is through the official patch page on Nexus, you can see a wide list of mods that will both add displays should you decide to use them and then patch it through, or just integrate into the mod itself. For instance, I picked the fossil mining mod with legacy support. I'm very excited to dig for fossils. That might sound weird, but I am building Miri to be a true explorer and an archaeologist, and I, for one, am just really excited to see how that plays out, and Legacy of the Dragonborn is allowing me to do it. The various mods that hook in, there is a link for each of the mods. Like I mentioned, it tells you what it adds in, and then it'll also give you a link to that mod page, so you can also just see what's available. Maybe you didn't know about some of these mods that are currently available that will hook in, and it'll just enrich your load order. Now, one thing that I've always loved about this mod is the safe house. I, for one, just love player housing overall, but the safe house in this mod has always just been really fun. I love how hidden away it is. I love the functionality within it, and it's just visually stunning. And the V5 upgrade to it is just phenomenal. I cannot stress enough how much you need to just roam around in the safe house, even if you don't choose to live there. It's just beautiful. And then if you head over to the like kind of general goods store in Solitude, the bits and pieces, there are actually upgrades that you can purchase at that store, which will allow you to have a room for kids and also a followers room. It will also give you a back patio and stuff like that. So those upgrades are phenomenal, and the best part is it works with the mod that allows you to adopt up to 6 kids, and the Bless This Home spell works beautifully. Plenty of room for followers, so you can really just live in the safe house now. There is also pretty like the Skyrim equivalent of cloud storage, where they have the craft loot system. You can put things and access them pretty much from anywhere in the museum where you might need to. So you can put them in like the auto sort container in your house, and then it will distribute to its correct containers in your safe house, and then you can also access it through the craft loot system in the museum. So if you need to build a replica, or if you need it for the Natural Science Museum, you do have the options to find everything that you need in a variety of locations, which makes it super easy to fill in different displays, or like I said, build replicas should you need to. Now, with a mod of this size, there is, of course, always going to be installation questions, or is this compatible with this, or why isn't X progressing with it like it should? And there is a wide array of documentation for this mod. It is all done beautifully. There's an entire wiki to read through that'll walk you through different quests or anything like that. There's an entire facts section, and then there is, of course, an entire Nexus comment section. So if you have any questions on the mod, I would highly suggest making sure that you check out the wiki, the facts section. There is also a mod blog where you can kind of read up on past things or current things depending on what questions that you have. So make sure that you're checking into all of that should you have any questions about either installation or why something isn't working with something else. But if I had to describe this mod in one word, it would be satisfying. This mod is highly satisfying, especially if you're somebody who likes to collect all of the unique items in the game, or just in general wants a reason to just play Skyrim, to play all of the little side quests that maybe you haven't done before. It gives you a reason to go through all the various dungeons, because you never know where something is going to be placed. You might be able to pick up a painting somewhere. A bad guy might have that one gem that you need for the natural science exhibit. You never know what you're gonna find. So satisfying is definitely the way that I would describe this mod. I will leave a link for it in the description down below, as well as the patch page, as well as the Live Another Life extension for it. So make sure that you check out this mod if you are going to head back into Skyrim and you're starting a new playthrough, or even if you've been playing Skyrim for a while and you're just looking for something new and fresh, or maybe you played Legacy of the Dragonborn before but didn't know about the V5 version. I can't recommend the V5 version enough. The mod feels fantastic. It feels super stable too, by the way. I haven't had really any crashes, anything like that. So can't stress enough how much you need to go and check out this mod. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world. And I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.